Let's stay with football and go to The Sun on the left-hand side of their back page. That story there, it's gone a little bit quiet in recent days, hasn't it, on England's search for a replacement for Gareth Southgate. But The Sun reporting Kieran McKenna is on England's shortlist. What do you make of that, Martin?
Surprised, really. Obviously he's a very sort of good up-and-coming young manager, done a brilliant job with Ipswich Town, been linked with a couple of other bigger clubs, certainly Brighton, Chelsea. So I think it would be a very unusual step for the FA to take. They probably want to look at everybody, and he has got some credentials. But I think it would be remarkable and surprising if it actually ended up with him, to be honest.
Yeah, he's had quite a rise to prominence, hasn't he, in the last year or two, Kieran McKenna. John, in terms of the wider search for England's new manager to replace Gareth Southgate, do you think perhaps going for an interim head coach to buy maybe England more time to decide exactly which direction they want to go in is the most likely outcome?
Yeah, I think Lee Carsley will be in charge of England's next game, which is against the Republic of Ireland in Dublin on September 7th. It's really not far away. So I do actually think it will be Lee Carsley. I think that Lee Carsley, they've decided on him as the interim option, frankly. And he's done ever so well with the under-21s. He's almost the Gareth Southgate option, isn't he? So basically, if he does do well in the Nations League and then sort of kind of proves himself, you wonder whether he might get it in a little bit longer term. I do think they will have to go through the various options. I'm sure they'll look at all of the candidates. And I do actually think they'll probably end up looking at, they've got to look at Kieran McKenna. I think where McKenna would be a massive departure for the FA, because they did go through this rather bizarre process of advertising it on the website, didn't they? And the second kind of qualification was to be competing at the top level in the Premier League or other international leagues. Well, he hasn't done that yet. So I guess you could argue nor has Lee Carsley, but I think the one thing is that Lee Carsley has done as kind of championed and come through the age groups. So I think it'll be Lee Carsley in the short term, and I think they'll take a little bit of time and see whether Carsley works, and then perhaps look at a sort of kind of, can you get Eddie Howe out of Newcastle, or Graham Potter is available. So I do think there'll be options. I think they would prefer a homegrown option as well.